If you're applying for the age pension, you may notice a question in the SA002 form that asks, have you or your partner sold your former home within the last 24 months and intend to buy or build a new family home? At first glance, it might seem like a simple question about your housing situation. But in reality, this question can have a major impact on how Centrelink assesses your pension. So today let's walk through why this question exists and what Centrelink is trying to understand when they ask it. As always, this video is for general educational information to help you better understand how the process works. To begin with, there is one very important rule in the age pension system. Your principal home is generally not counted in the asset test. This means that regardless of whether your home is worth a modest amount or several $1 million, its value usually does not affect your age pension entitlement. That's because your home is considered a place to live, not an investment asset. However, the situation changes the moment the home is sold. Once the property is sold, the house no longer exists as an exempt asset. Instead, it turns into money in the bank, and money in the bank is normally assessed under the asset test. This is exactly why Centrelink asks question 47. They are trying to determine what has happened to the proceeds from the sale of your home. When someone indicates that they have sold their former home, the first document Centrelink usually asks for is the settlement statement. This document contains several pieces of information that are important for the assessment. First, it shows the settlement date. That date is important because it determines when certain time limits begin. Second, the statement confirms the final amount of money that was received from the sale. This tells Centrelink how much money is potentially involved in the assessment. After reviewing the settlement details, Centrelink will normally ask another important question. They will want to know what you plan to do with the money from the sale. This is where the situation can develop in different directions. If someone explains that the money is simply sitting in their bank account with no particular plan for it, then Centrelink will usually treat those funds as assessable assets. That means the money becomes part of the person's total assets for the pension assessment. Depending on the amount, this could reduce the pension or potentially make the person ineligible. However, there is another possible situation. If the person explains that they intend to buy or build another principal home, then Centrelink may treat the funds differently. Under certain circumstances, the amount that will be used to purchase or build the new home may be temporarily exempt from the asset test. This allows people some time to transition from one home to another without immediately affecting their pension. But Centrelink will usually ask another follow-up question. They will want to know how much of the sale proceeds will actually be used for the new home. Only that amount can potentially receive the exemption. A simple example to understand this. Imagine someone sells their home for $1 million. Later, they plan to purchase a smaller home for around $600,000. In that case, the amount intended for the new home, $600,000, may be considered for the temporary exemption. The remaining $400,000 may still be counted as assessable assets. If that amount pushes the person's total assets above the relevant limits, their age pension could be reduced. In some cases, it might even stop altogether. This is why Centrelink asks very specific questions about the intended use of the funds. The importance of the 24-month timeframe. You may also notice that the question specifically refers to the last 24 months. This timeframe is not random. Centrelink generally allows a period of up to 24 months from the settlement date for someone to purchase or build their new principal home. During this period, the amount intended for the new home may remain temporarily exempt from the asset test. But once that 24-month period passes, the situation may be reassessed. If the new home has not yet been purchased or built, the funds could become assessable assets. Can the time period be extended? In some circumstances, it may be possible to request additional time. For example, delays in construction or unexpected circumstances might make it difficult to complete the process within the original timeframe. In certain cases, Centrelink may consider extending the exemption period by up to another year if there is a reasonable explanation. However, each case is assessed individually. So in summary, question 47 is really about understanding what happened after a home was sold. Centrelink needs to determine whether the money from that sale should be treated as, first, funds that will soon become another principal home. Second, money that should be counted as assessable assets. That distinction can significantly affect how someone's age pension is calculated. For many people, selling a home and moving into another one is simply part of retirement planning. But from Centrelink's perspective, the timing of the sale, the intended use of the funds, and the time frame involved all play an important role in the pension assessment. Understanding why these questions are asked can help applicants prepare the right information and avoid surprises later on. If you found this explanation helpful, please don't forget to check the next video. And if there is another question from the pension forms that you would like explained, you are welcome to leave it in the comments. Thanks for watching, stay informed, stay empowered, and I will see you in the next video.